Yes, yes. Peace to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody. I might be morning in some places, evening, whatever it is. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Hope y'all taking care of yourself, staying safe and all that. Minding your business, not getting slapped in your mouth on stage, all that shit. You know, dangerous time to be a big mouth. Dudes getting walked up on in the middle of saying jokes, getting slapped in their face. You know what I'm saying? Dudes trying to prove their manhood to women that have emasculated them, that have turned them into cocks, and they're trying now to prove their manhood by running up on comedians. So I hope y'all staying safe. It's a hell of a time to be alive in this world. What's up, Boxing Lounge? Ayaba Lisa Bales, how you doing, Queen? Man, interesting times we're living in. But obviously, top of the story is Eduardo Hearn. Eduardo Hearn has lost out. Him and the Zone have lost out on the undisputed fight. The one that we at least thought he would get. The one that we at least thought he would get, which was the Cambosos fight. But never underestimate the unpredictability and the corruption that is embedded in the business of boxing. So after pretty much signing off on a Lomachenko fight, because let's not forget, Devin Haney was not going to get this fight with George Kambosos. That fight was going to Lomachenko, who stayed back in the war zone of the Ukraine to defend his country, which opened the door for a Kambosos fight, which most people thought the zone would be able to broadcast because, of course, Kambosos don't have a broadcaster nowhere. Ludabella don't have a broadcast. But again, never underestimate the corruption and the unpredictability of boxing. So here you have Ludabella cutting a deal with Bob Arum. Again, they were going to fight Lomachenko, and now Danny's picture. The whole thing is now, how do we make this benefit us and only us? Bob Arum gets involved in this scenario because Ludabella, being who he is, does not want to work with Eddie Hearn. Ludabella has never gotten over the fact that the Zone chose Eddie Hearn to come to America to broadcast in America. He has always had an issue with that. If you go back to Ludabella interviews, even recently, he's made comments like he doesn't want to speak to Eddie. He wants time for his fighters. He wants an exclusive deal. He wants this, he wants that. He don't want to go through Eddie. He want to go straight to the Zone. And ultimately, that played a part in this deal where Ludabella and Bob Arum got together to conspire to force Devin Haney to not only fight 2 fights with George Kambosos, which I don't mind. Kambosos wants a rematch class, okay. But not only fight these 2 fights in Australia, but he has to fight a 3rd fight for Top Rank. I agree with you, Lisa Bales. It is, in my opinion, a slave contract. It's a terrible contract. Neither DeBella Entertainment or Top Rank has anything or had anything to do with Devin Haney. He never fought for DeBella, never fought on ESPN Top Rank. He's fought on Showbox, and then he signed with Matchroom, and then was on a fight-to-fight basis with Matchroom fighting on DAZN. And he had to sign a contract, which really was designed to make him say no. I think initially it was a partnership between Devin Haney Promotions and Matchroom. It was a closer relationship than it is now, where he doesn't have any broadcast dealings with Matchroom. But it was, Devin Haney Promotions is apparently its own entity, which has fighters apparently, and they were working through Matchroom on DAZN. So he has to do all of that, and he didn't sign a contract exclusively apparently, but no, he has to sign one exclusively for a fight with Top Rank. No, the fight that's in question is Lomachenko. That's a fight that he wanted, yes. But what's really interesting is that Bob Arum and them had no interest in making a fight with Devin Haney, going as far as to petition for the franchise belt so as to swerve a fight with Devin Haney for the actual WBC belt, which Devin Haney has. Let's not forget that. Top Rank petitioned the WBC to have Lomachenko awarded the French fry belt so as to not have to fight his mandatory, the number one contender, Devin Haney, for the WBC belt. And that's what started the downward spiral of the lightweight division, where people have these fake unified champions and all of this. I think it's unbelievable that promoters, everybody knows boxing is an immensely dirty and corrupt sport. But what's most disappointing is that they do these sorts of things basically at the expense of the actual fan, right? No. Everybody knew Devin Haney was supposed to fight George Kambosos. It was never supposed to be Lomachenko. Lomachenko was never supposed to be in the goddamn picture. But Lou DiBella seems to have a deal with Top Rank. Some kind of deal we don't know about, maybe to get his fighters on ESPN. He has some weird deal with him, with Bob Arum, which is why, if you remember, Richard Coleman was being approached by Devin Haney and them to fight to fight the fight that Jojo Diaz got when Ryan Garcia turned it down and all of that. Richard Coleman, who is signing with Lou DiBella, was approached for that fight to come to the zone to fight. And Lou DiBella gave Richard Coleman to Lomachenko to be bludgeoned on ESPN. And it's crazy. So here you have Lou DiBella. Remember, Lou DiBella had a few of his fighters on the zone. That's where George Kambosos pretty much fought his last two fights before this fight. George Kambosos fought, I think, was Lee Selby in the final eliminator. I think it was Lee Selby, yeah. And then Matchroom got the purse bid after Triller defaulted for George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez on the zone. So Eddie Hearn had a large hand in getting George Kambosos where he is. Lou DiBella benefited from that relationship until George Kambosos won. And then Lou DiBella decided, you know what? F Eddie Hearn. I got what I wanted out of him. I'm out. But then that seems to be boxing. Peace, Madam Machine. Peace, Laurent. That seems to be boxing, right? So George Kambosos fought his last two fights under Eddie Hearn and the zone. He got the belts from Teofimo on the zone. And then after that, Ludabella went absolutely crazy. F Eddie Hearn. I don't give a F about Eddie Hearn. F this, F that. If y'all remember, go back and look at it. The dude went absolutely nuclear. Like as if he and Eddie Hearn are the biggest enemies. It's really strange. Basically burning the bridge with Eddie for any George Kambosos fight. And that's when he went and made the deal for Lomachenko. Lomachenko decides he wants to stay in Ukraine. Rather than making the deal with the zone, he sticks to his guns. And no, you have to sign with ESPN. A matter of fact, not just for the Kambosos fight, but you also have to sign with Top Rank for another fight. Now, I don't know about you, but this is a very, very sad situation. Why are two promoters who had no dealings with Devin Haney demanding of him he signed with an external promoter? Well, that's how it is. So Devin Haney accepts, and he has to go to Australia for his 2 fights, broadcasting on ESPN and whatever broadcaster in Australia. And the reaction to this has been kind of mixed, right? But most of the reaction has been, well, not most, but a lot of the reaction has been people happy that Eddie Hearn ain't in the picture. People are happy that Devin Haney is getting the fight. And I'm happy the dude is getting the fight. He should have got, he should have been the number 1 choice anyway. What's up, Haplo? He should have been the number 1 choice anyway. But it's unfortunate that where he was pretty much promoted and invested in on the zone, a Matchroom, they're not going to be able to broadcast this fight because 2 promoters are in some kind of conspiracy, some kind of cabal to cut another promoter out. That's boxing, I guess, but it should not be this way. But that's how it is. I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to jump in and have any kind of input on this Devin Haney situation. You have Devin Haney now. The reactions, right? So I'm actually happy he took it because I'm a proponent of fighters going where they can get fights. I'm a proponent of promoters not standing in the way of fighters. If they can't provide the fight, promoters not standing in the way. Devin Haney is obviously he's his own boss and he has to go there to get the fight. It's just interesting, though. There's a group of people that are rejoicing over that Devin Haney got the fight, that's good. And they say, oh, he's sacrificing, he's this, you know what I mean? He's doing it for his good. He's betting on himself. He want to be great. He want to have legacy. You know what I'm saying? He's 23 years old. Look at what he's doing, crossing networks to get this fight. He should have to, nothing wrong with that. But if you go back and you watch some of these people's comments during the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua scenario, these were the same people when Deontay Wilder was in Devin Haney's position saying Deontay should not go to England. Deontay should not sign the DAZN deal. And F undisputed. Now it's Devin Haney sacrificing and, you know what I'm saying, nothing wrong with going after legacy and a rival platform and all this bullshit. I'm like, why didn't you have that energy when Deontay was offered that money on another platform to get the most money he could get, to get undisputed? You people were encouraging him not to do the same thing that you're rejoicing Devin Haney did. But I see what it is. I find some people have a weird irrational dislike of Hearn. I'm not sure why. Eddie Hearn is like any other promoter. So Eddie Hearn is cut out, and you're happy because it's happening without Eddie Hearn. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if Eddie Hearn is more or less greasy or greasy than any other promoter in the world. But I see the weird double standard here, where when Deontay was in that position, he shouldn't go over there. Caleb Plant should not go over to the zone. He should stay on PBC. George Kambosos is not signed with ESPN, period. But it's great that Devin Haney, goes over there and, he signs this 3-fight awful contract with Bob Arum. Bob Arum, who decided he was going to freeze him out, petitioned for a French fry belt to start this debacle of an undisputed situation. That's why I don't have too much conversation on social media, on Twitter and on certain YouTube channels no more. I don't go to these channels because your moral scale slides from side to side too easy. Y'all don't really keep it honest. Y'all don't keep it balanced. Your morality is not solid. Lou DiBella was the one who was working up that deal for Deontay Wilder, mind you. And y'all hated Lou DiBella then. You love him now. I think Devin Haney can win this fight. I'm not sure he can beat Lomachenko, though. I just think it's unfortunate. Hey, what's good, Black? What's up? What's up, bro? Oh, man, they're fake, Lisa Bales. They're fake, terrible people. You know what it is, man. Truth hurts crew. This is real talk. I remember all these people, Black. I remember all these people. Why the hell should Deontay want to go to England to fight Anthony Joshua? Well, why should he go? Wilder is the American. He needs to come to America to fight. Man, F them belts he got. F them belts. He ain't earned them belts. He fought bums to get them belts. Think I forgot? That was back when I used to be around. I used to be this big Deontay Wilder fan. That was back then. I used to be this big Deontay Wilder fan. You think I forgot that shit? No, F them belts Anthony Joshua got. F Sky Sports. And F this. He ain't making, he ain't bigger than Deontay. Deontay's the American champ. Well, Devin Haney's the American champ. And y'all are rejoicing Devin Haney has to go even further to Australia, 19 hours on a plane. Possibly twice to fight George Kambosos. Possibly twice. 19 hours. Wilder's flight was only 8. To fight someone who actually was an overwhelming A-side, somebody who really was selling out stadiums, somebody who really did pay-per-views. Wilder shouldn't go, but Devin Haney has to go. And he betting on himself. That kid looking for greatness. Man. Lisa Hales in the house.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah, I had to put my headphones on because this device is crazy that I got.
Just go ahead and talk. I'm going to be on the phone for a second. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I just don't like this situation, but I mean, it's not my career, I feel like the contract is like kind of like a slave contract, and he got to jump through all these rings of fire, and to get to clear this mess up about the undisputed, and I just find it to be just so disheartening This is boxing. Like why can't the networks and platforms work together for the best of boxing? But it's not like that. It's about money. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, like, the fans, we've been calling for this. We want to see that to clear that up. And it's just been an ongoing. It's like a curse having that franchise thing at 135. It's just been a nightmare. And for me as a fan, I was glad to hear they're trying to clear this up. But like God, it's like you got to sell your soul, just to get that. So he got to go through Cambosis twice. He got to beat him twice in Australia, which is fine. I don't have no problem with it being in Australia. Cambosis the champ, but you know, then he got to go through Loma. So it's like Bob kind of owns them belts in a sense, if you know what I mean. Especially when he partnered up with Lou. So this is just the Operation Squeeze Out. You know how boxing is, and it just gets to the point where it's just like we just watching rich men. I'm tired of just rich men going back and forth. What about the fans?
I think it's unfortunate, right? Because while yeah, the fans do get the fight, if Haney had said, "Look, I'm not gonna sign this bullshit. What is this nonsense?" Right? It would have been like, man,
Mm-hmm.
well, you don't get the fight, and you don't get to fight ever, and all this bullshit, and all this other nonsense. And it's like that contract was designed for Devin Haney to say no,
Mm-hmm.
because not only do I have to fight the person that I want to fight, Cambosos, I'm being forced to sign with a promoter that I had no interest in signing with before.
Mm-hmm.
Bob had an opportunity to sign Devin Haney. It didn't work out.
Right.
Then, no, I'm going to fight this dude. Why am I being forced to sign with this guy? And George Cambosos is not even a top-ranked fighter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
all. This is all Lou DiBella, and then them conspiring together, because it's all about Loma. See, um, Bob wants those belts for Loma. You know what I mean? Because he is very fond of Loma. And when Loma lost to Tio, they were very upset over there in the top rank, you know, side. So, it's just crazy. Yeah. So, like, young Devin got to go through some. I just hope he go over there and kick some behind and win, you know, and then get out of that situation as soon as he can so he could be free. You know what I mean?
I just, I agree with that. I
Yeah, and
hope
then he's growing too. How long is he gonna be able to stay at 135?
I don't. Well, in my opinion, I pretty much thought the Cambosos fights would have been the last fights at 135 because
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be it for him. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, who knows? It would be really unfortunate to see that dude stick around too long and then
Mm-hmm.
go through the pains of sucking down again for a fight and then lose because your body shuts down on you or some shit. I really thought the Cambosos fight was gonna be the last 135 fight for Devin Haney, because if you beat George Cambosos twice, then what's the point of sticking around?
Mm-mm. Well, that's the whole point of them. Bob getting this is what Bob and them are doing. Look what's going on with the. It's just I'm looking at the whole picture. I'm looking at what happened with Big Femi. I'm looking at what happened with Dylan, Andrade, and Devin. Can't get those big fights.
That's how it is, right? So you want somebody like Femi, right, who went around, took his time, picked up all the other belts, and
Mm-hmm.
the dude with the one belt who didn't go around picking up the other belts, people were mad at Femi for not for not kowtowing to him, for not bending to him. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
you mad at Femi for doing his job, doing what we want him to do? And then no, he did all that shit. You still want him to bend and bow to this dude who was over here being lazy, who wasn't diligent
That's
in his career, who wasn't aggressive in his career to go after this shit. You sit over here and wait. Like I used to make the analogy that it's like a cuckoo bird, where the cuckoo bird would watch another bird build a nest, do all this shit, lay eggs, do all of this, prepare for the winter or whatever, spring or whatever. And then when it's done, the cuckoo bird will come lay its egg in the goddamn nest, make the other birds hatch the egg, and then the cuckoo bird hatchling would eat all the food and kill off all the actual other small birds. That's what it was to me. That's why I stopped supporting them, because I thought, you were a cuckoo bird, bro. You watch other people do all the work. You and PBC sit there and wait and be like, if you want this other belt, you gotta pay big for it, and this other dumb shit. And that's what they did with Canelo. Eddie Hearn got all the belts for Canelo, and then Caleb Plant, who didn't do shit with his career, just sat on PBC fighting bums. They was like, well, if you want this other belt, you gotta come over here.
Yeah, he was able to. He got out of the way. He had to, because Canelo was a free agent, so he was able to move. So he went over to PBC to get that last, you know what I mean, Infinity Stone. Yeah, but it's like, how come that couldn't happen with Big Femi? But it's just so many politics. You know what I mean? So many politics. Yeah.
I mean, I hope
Yep.
Devin Haney can do it.
And then you got people. They don't give Big Femi that same respect that they would give Spence, who had the majority of the belts, but he could be called this or that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know this stuff is fake, man. It's all about who you support and back.
Yeah, who you like. It's who you like. You know, if you like somebody, you're going, you know, whatever they do is fine. You're not going to be like, you know, you're not going to apply your moral standings to everybody. It's like, my morality is only for the guy I like. It's not for, you know, everybody. You know, I watch this Devin Haney situation. I see the people who are rejoicing, and I'm like, well, y'all don't keep the same, you know, these same standards for everybody. I don't respect that.
No, me neither.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, man,
me neither.
You know, so
where you think Andrade gonna go?
Probably try his hand at the PBC. What's wild is that the PBC had a chance to sign Andrade, and they didn't sign Andrade. Before he went to Matchroom, he didn't have no promoter. He didn't have nobody. They didn't sign Demetrius Andrade, not at Top Rank. And when he signed with Matchroom, they still said, we're not going to fight you.
Right.
So it's like, for Andrade, the only place to go is maybe PBC or re-sign with Matchroom somehow. But then it's like, even if you're with PBC, who says you're going to get the fights you want? Because we see PBC don't make these fights.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Ayob says it's highly disturbing that the guys who created this BS in Lomachenko and Bob are now the ones who Haney is forced to sign to, and Loma gets the last. Exactly, Ayob. They created this. They created this shit, and they get to benefit.
Real talk, yeah. I haven't heard anybody go up against Usyk, because remember, they was going in on Loma, because they thought Loma was gonna fight what's his name, Kambosos.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, yeah.
You know, it's wild, because even going back to Femi's situation with the Tyson Fury shit, it was like people were almost glad he's fighting Wilder again. And it's like, y'all don't see this man pulled a scam move, and y'all don't see this man lied to y'all for months saying the fight's on, fight's on. And then all of a sudden, nah, the fight ain't on and whatever. I'm fighting Wild again for the third time, even though nobody really wanted to see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
That's what people
you know,
people fall for the okie doke, yeah. But I don't. I mean, that's just me, I just look at it for what it is and I'm like, well, this is happening, that, and I'm looking at all the inconsistencies in the just and you could just tell how the climate of people, how they turn on you. They turn on you, you know what I mean?
if I could advise a lot of these fighters, I would just tell them, don't get too caught up in fan love. A lot of these fans don't care about you, bro. They don't like you.
Nah.
Because the next point I'm gonna bring up gonna prove that. Ahab says, and the people want to tell us Cambosos wanted Haney the whole time. I'm liars everywhere, Ahabs. George Cambosos had no intentions of fighting Devin Haney. It's the same thing they said with Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez came out on a video with Fight Hype and exposed himself, saying he had no intentions of fighting Devin Haney. He was going to drop the belts.
Mm-hmm.
Said he was gonna do after Cambosos, I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna blah blah blah. This was at the Mikey Garcia fight, yeah. But when they had this big run-in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight this bum. You think I'm gonna fight this bum? His father, my son fought Lomachenko. You think we scared of this bum? Teofimo comes on a Fight Hype, says we was gonna drop the belts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who promotes Teofimo Lopez? Bob Arum.
Mm-hmm.
Already had that shit lined up. Drop the belts, F Devin Haney. So again, Devin Haney has to sign with a guy who had, again, no intentions of fighting him. No intention.
Mm-hmm.
So Cambosos had no intentions of fighting Devin Haney. Lomachenko had no intentions of fighting Devin Haney. Teofimo Lopez had no intention of fighting Devin Haney. All of this, Bob Arum conspired. And who benefits most? Again, in the end, Bob Arum. Now, is that sly business? Is that built up from a career of making relationships? Is that corruption? It could be all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
It could be all of the above. But what does that say to a young fighter where people can F you over in boxing and yet still benefit the most off of you?
Yeah. It's disgusting. It took me back. I mean, even though I didn't live in those times, I said I could kind of understand what some of the fighters went through in the past, and just the corruption and everything. And I had that type of feeling, like I was like, wow, what they do, for you to get.
Exactly.
It's just like, and I blame the sanctioning bodies to some degree too, because if you in a sanctioning body, why are they not pushing for these, unifications and undisputeds? It used to be like that, I think, but it's just too many politics now. If you got a belt and each one got a belt, they should all like unify and come together and so you can see who's the guy. It makes no sense to me.
But that's how it is in boxing, right? You got Ludabella, who is always seemed to be on some sort of slimy, skeezy shit. That's why this dude, another slimy dude, Rick Glazier, doesn't like Ludabella at all, calls him a scummy pig or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. I've heard him say that, yeah.
Ahab says Eddie has failed in the U.S. because Bob has too many connections built over the decades. He's been outmaneuvered by Alan Bob. Listen, man, when these guys have built up a lot of years of backdoor connections and shit, right? But I'm gonna respect Eddie Hearn with one thing. This dude ain't stopping, right? This dude is pushing hard. And when you got a whole industry having to conspire to bring you down, I think that speaks highly of what they think of you. They think you're a threat. Like if Eddie Hearn was no threat, like if he wasn't shit, they wouldn't be doing none of this. But it's like three promoters coming together to squeeze this one man out. I gotta respect it. Even the promoter on his own broadcast, Golden Boy, is trying to squeeze him out. You know I'm saying? And that's crazy, but that should show people that this dude is actually worth something. Like he really a threat to these people. And I respect it. I respect it. But he is getting outmaneuvered sometimes. But then he can't help that because he don't have them
yeah.
He don't have them connections yet. So
yeah,
it's gonna come one day, but he gonna have to take these off.
Yeah, but he getting kind of like exposed and in the UK too. Think about it. Because he's no longer with Sky. So
I don't know.
Sky, no, think about it. They the big broad. See, he don't have that broadcasting thing like that in Sky. That's the big machine over there. So Bob Arum has Boxer. That's some type of thing, and they over there in the UK now, yeah. So
I think, I know Sky signed a broadcast deal with Top Rank. Boxer,
yeah, called Boxer, yeah.
No. Boxer is his own entity in the UK.
Yeah, but the Bob Arum has something to do with it as far as the UK.
Yeah, Bob Arum.
Like if you want to see boxer fights over here in the US, that's from Top Rank. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the
I can't put it into words.
No, I got you. What I'm saying, it's the broadcast deal that Top Rank signed with Sky. So it's like when Sky had a deal, like a deal with Matchroom, I would see Sky cards in the zone in my market, right? I would see it on the zone. So they just Matchroom's gone and Top Rank slips in. So now you see Sky Sports Cards, which is Boxer, on ESPN in America, right? Haplo says, I think Eddie's short on money and can't win these purse bids because of the deal they gave Canelo. Might be damn right. That Canelo money, remember, when Al Heyman got that one Caleb Plant fight, it pretty much put the entire PBC roster on hold. Nobody else fought for that year. Nobody else. Because of the Canelo money. You have to pay out all that money to this one dude. Then you can't use your money for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And that was their big get this year.
That's crazy because you still gotta. I mean, I know he's a big star and everything, but boxing is, what about the other? That just sounds crazy, yeah. To me.
Ziggy Zane says Sky's still trying to get AJ, but he's signing for promotional as Matchroom. That had nothing to do with his broadcast rights. Nothing to do with his broadcast rights. Nothing. Not because he signed with Matchroom means his fights have to be in the zone. That's nothing. If
I was him, I'd say with Sky.
Eddie Hearn made that clear.
More eyes are on you with Sky.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn made that clear that his deal with the zone is exclusive of Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. That they don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing.
See, it's so many. Go ahead.
Eddie's getting beat in everything except with the zone signing Canelo.
He's right.
So Ziggy Zane says, so it's possible to see an AJ show on Sky UK via Matchroom, still Zone USA. Yeah, definitely. Unless Top Rank outbids Matchroom or outbids the Zone for the USA rights for Anthony Joshua fight, via Sky. I don't know how it'll work, but that's definitely possible.
Mm.
Yeah, Ayab says, yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna deal with Sky. Valdez Shakur is on Sky. Yeah. So it's just how he's gonna do it. But in terms of in the UK, Eddie Hearn shows so far has still been, I'm not gonna lie to you. The last few UK shows Eddie Hearn's put has been really good. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
I really did enjoy those shows. I'm not the dude can put on a show. He could put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
So they were really good. So in the UK, I guess he's still the man over there. The zone
Mm-hmm.
has to find a way to increase their visibility, increase their reach in the UK. The thing is, in America, boxing is not really the sport that you tag on to if you want reach, because boxing is not a big sport in America. It's
Mm-hmm.
really not. Like, that's why boxing companies have, outside of the HBO days, boxing didn't have a real home. It moved around a lot. Like, boxing was at, I think, CBS at one point. Then it went
Mm-hmm.
to another station. Then it went to another. Like, boxing moves around because nobody really wants to hold on to boxing for a long time, right?
Right.
You know, it's like you don't see boxing getting these deals like NFL football and NBA basketball and shit like that. Like you have companies who want to tie them to 20-year contracts. You don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
So the zone tried to hitch on to boxing in America. Boxing is not a big sport. I think the zone should have waited until NFL rights became available or basketball rights became available to move into America. Boxing is not the sport that you want to get involved in if you're looking to draw eyes. It's not a big sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. And that's real.
No, it's not. Yeah, not like it used to be. Yeah,
Right. It's just
yeah.
not.
And
So
it's
they're
just
gonna
a
have
sport. It's a sport that doesn't have a governing body, so
exactly. And
that
people
that makes it even worse. Yeah.
like even like this whole Devin Haney situation. New fans don't want to have to deal with all this politics, man. They don't care. UFC at the UFC MMA, UFC at the very least, you already know it's under one governing body, one belt, one whatever, one president. You don't have to go through all this shit. So the zone is gonna have to find a way to
Yeah.
make it work. That deal for BT Sport fell through in the UK. That was a big blow, a big blow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they need to do their work on the other end to increase their reach to help the situation. But that's
Mm-hmm.
going to take money, you know. So
Yeah. Well,
just
Probellum, Probellum, they was supposed to BT, they went to try to buy the BT Sport, but now, Probellum, I think it is. Is
mhm.
that what it's called? They signed that deal with Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not Disney Plus. I'm sorry, Discovery Plus.
Discovery. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you could see the squeeze out. You see it. It's like evident. I'm like, whoa, man, this is getting ugly.
Well, hey, boxing is all over now. Everybody wants a little piece of boxing here, a little piece of boxing there. You know, it's just I don't know. Boxing is good filler. If you don't have
Yeah.
nothing else, you know you can get boxing. It's good filler, but eventually, not everybody's gonna last. So we'll see. Next topic I want to talk about Tank Davis. So Tank Davis was on Twitter talking about how his contract is up. Floyd Mayweather is giving interviews saying he wished the best for Tank and whatever Tank decided to do and all this other blase stuff. And people are talking about how Tank is about to leave Mayweather and all this other shit. Do you think Tank Davis is going to leave Money Team, Lisa Bills?
Um, what I think is, yeah, it's a possibility he could leave. Yeah, because when Floyd is saying it, I'm like, well, he's not exactly coming out saying it, but he's alluding to some things. I'm thinking that Tank may just sign an exclusive contract with Showtime.
That's a definite possibility. I think he'll just because Jerron Ennis did that, and maybe he'll just sign directly with them, no promoter.
Yeah, It makes sense because he's already have a rapport there. Unless he goes over to I can't see him going to Bob. Not saying that he wouldn't. And did you see they tried to say Bob? Somebody from Top Rank was trying to scout him. Tank. Did you see that?
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
I said, did you see? I think it was a tweet or something. Somebody was from Top Rank was trying to scout Tank, trying to reach out to him, but technically you're not supposed to do that because he's still under contract until after this
Wow.
fight.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
tampering. That's contract tampering.
Right. Yeah, but they talk about Eddie doing it and they doing it.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
That's how these people are. That's how
Yeah,
these
that's
people are.
funny. Yeah. I
That
cracked
wouldn't be
up when I saw
surprising.
that. Yeah. I
That
saw
wouldn't
the
be surprising.
tweet, but you know, they good for deleting tweets, these people.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that, that's not surprising though. That's how these people operate. They do all this, then they turn around and say, "Oh, but you're doing it." So, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's what they do, bro. That's what
I
they
don't know
do,
if Tank.
fam.
I don't know if Tank leaves Mayweather, but Tank is not like Devin Haney's in his early. Devonta
Uh-huh.
Davis is heading to his 30s,
Yeah.
and he has to do something now, right now in his career, because Floyd and them don't have no plans for him outside of just fighting subpar competition on Fox or Showtime. They're gonna
Right.
continue making him fight these low-level fights that are cheap, and they can make a higher overhead on. Even if it's not a big pay-per-view seller, because the fight is so cheap, like the opponent is cheap, their overhead is still gonna be worth it. Tank Davis has to do something for himself. He has to save his own career. But I don't know if he leaves Mayweather. I don't think Floyd is a good promoter. I don't think Leonard Ellerby is good at pretty much anything he does. I'm not sure what exactly Leonard Ellerby does, to be honest. I don't know what he does.
I think he's the president, right?
I don't know, because even when they asked Roger Mayweather when he was alive about Leonard Ellerby, Roger was like, I don't know what he does.
Right. He's just a hype man, you know, he hypes up everything. You know, I'm not exactly sure what his position is, but Floyd is a good self promoter, but promoting others, you know, he's one of the best self promoters that ever did it. But promoting others, that's an issue, you know.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But it's
You know.
interesting. If y'all are on Twitter, go on the Javanta's post he made about his contract being up, and see all the people who used to be these big Javante Davis fans now calling him a coon. Mind you, he hasn't said anything about leaving Mayweather yet. Hasn't said anything about leaving Mayweather yet. Nothing. But all of a sudden now Javante Davis is now a coon because other people suggested he should leave Mayweather. Other people suggested that. No, all of
Why
a
is he a coon?
Now all of a sudden these same people who was all about Tank and all this shit. Oh, you trying to leave PBC and TMT? You a coon, you this, because mind you, Lisa Bales, this man has not said he's going nowhere. He hasn't said he's signing with nobody else. All he said was his contract is up and this and that and this and that. That's all this dude said. All of a sudden, all
Right.
these people, because other people start making inferrals that, oh man, he might sign with Top Rank because Top Rank has lightweights and whatever. All of a sudden now Javante Davis is cooning and selling out. I'm like, man, y'all are sick. This is why I said earlier
Yeah.
to boxers, don't get too in love with what these people say to you on social media, how much they love you now. A lot of these people have mental issues and they're looking to live their life through you. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
crazy. Yeah, I
All
agree
of a
with
sudden,
you.
this man is a coon.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what business is it of theirs if he uh changes move on to another promotional company? Like you said, people get too caught up like in people's affairs, They're boxers, you know, um we just want to see the best fight the best, but these fans are getting too involved. They're getting too involved.
I'm telling you,
And it's really I think the fans play a part in some of the fights not happening either, to some degree.
because these fighters sit here on social media. I'm like, what are the fans saying? What are they saying? Trust me, these people are not really your fans. These people are trying to push another agenda so you can
Hmm.
do what they want you to do, which is not necessarily the best for your career or legacy. What it is just to make them feel better. Like I
Right.
remember people who live their lives based on super chats and goddamn donations and all of this and cash apps and all of that. People who
Yeah.
live their lives through that, who pay their rent with that, out here telling Terrence Crawford what he should take, telling Deontay well not to take $150 million, take all
Hmm.
these people, whatever. And then when you don't do it, yeah, man, good for you.
Yeah. Yup. It's crazy. Like how you gonna tell like another person what to do with their career? It's like they're saying that, oh, Bud, oh, the fight can happen now possibly because he left Top Rank. Why couldn't it happen when he was on there?
Man,
That's
please.
crazy.
Hey, what's
Like,
up, Fight Doctor? How you doing, bro?
hey, fight doctor.
So Tank Davis is now, at seemingly at odds, but this is not the first time. Tank and these guys are always at odds somehow. Maybe this is just a way for them to sell this awful fight with Rolly Romero, get
Mm-hmm.
some attention going because Lord knows you can't really promote this fight. That fight is terrible. So they have to cook up some other sort of controversy somehow. I'm just glad that they did it this way rather than Tank going to beat up some other chick on a basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
Name out there. So go ahead and drum up some drama between yourselves. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting to me to see how people already talking shit about Tank Davis. The man hasn't even
Mm-hmm.
said he's leaving nobody yet. And y'all are talking shit about this man. Like y'all are crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of sick people in this community, man. And the boxing fans. They really sick people, man. Just like I don't even like coming on talking boxing like I used to no more. It's just like you just around a bunch of sickos, you know?
Yeah.
Just not even fun no more.
No, it's
Used to
not
be
fun no more.
fun. Yeah, it used to be fun. It's just like whatever. It's like people just troll or like that's a sickness in itself too. Trolling and just like it's just like annoying, you know what I mean? And they're not even looking at the history of boxing. Like, these things happen in boxing, And at it's just sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
Fight Doctor says, I think Tank would be smart to get away from Mayweather. Hey, Fight Doctor, a lot of people think that. I think that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm really not quite sure what the plan is for Tank Davis for Mayweather. Like, I think Tank should really ask these people, give me a 3-fight plan that's gonna make me great.
Mm-hmm.
Just simply,
Loma.
just simply saying, we're not gonna fight, we're not gonna make no other promoter rich. We're gonna fight all in-house fights. That's not gonna help Tank Davis. That's not gonna help his skill set. That's not gonna help his leg. That's not gonna help his pockets. It's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
help.
What
Tank
what
Davis' name is big enough that Bob Arum would have to come to the table and do a co-promotional deal with Mayweather Promotions. He would have.
Right. Right.
Devin Haney's name wasn't big enough for that, so that's why they could do all this dumb shit about franchise belt and all of that.
Floyd is not going to work with the old man. You know that.
Why? I mean, is he still carrying feelings from when he was on the Top Rank, or something else happened?
I think so. I don't think he messing with Bob Arum. They don't mess with each other like that.
Huh. That's interesting, but that's a problem because now with Devin Haney having to sign with Top Rank for at least 3 fights, Devin Haney, I mean, that now puts all of the top 130 and 135 guys with Bob Arum. Bob Arum,
yeah, and 140
and 140. So everybody in Tank Davis's weight division,
yeah,
that somebody has something to do with Bob Arum.
Yeah. Except for Pro Gray, he's not. He's on Pro Bellum, I think. And I'm trying to think of another one at 140.
Well, the dude Jack Catterall, who just beat Josh Taylor, is with Pro Bellum also.
Yeah. So those are 2 that's not with Arum. Yeah, but the top, yeah, all the top, you got Zapata over there at 140. You got Josh Taylor. That's 140. Ramirez, 135. You got Loma. Well, right now we're gonna put Loma to the side because he's,
right.
He's busy. Right. Haney is going over there. Who else is at 135? Oh, T.O., but T.O.'s getting ready to go up to 140. Yeah, that's right. So T.O. is at 140. Getting ready to go up. Who else? Well, Ryan, he's on Golden Boy. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Tank needs to ask for some kind of plan. And it's not even necessary that he leaves if he doesn't want to leave Mayweather, but he has to start getting serious with his career because, again, he's heading for 30 years old. He don't want to end up like Jamal Charlo. Charlo, who's heading for mid-30s, never been in no fight that's worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Who Jamal Charlo, whose promotional team don't seem to have any plan for him. It's just unfortunate that a guy like Tank is stuck there. But who knows? It's just me watching these so-called fans calling this young man a coon, calling this young man all types of shit when he didn't even say he's leaving.
They do that to a lot of boxers. They call Bud a coon, AJ a coon. I've seen it. Who else? So many of them. They call Bud Top Rank Toby and all of this. It's sad, man.
Nah, it's crazy, right?
And now he's gone, and now he's gone, and now they were, well, who is he signed to? Why is it your business?
Exactly.
As long as it's the fight is made. Like, they all in these fighters' business, man.
I remember one time.
It's putrid. It's just disgusting.
I remember one time I was listening to Teddy Atlas, which is weird because Teddy Atlas is not one of my favorite people. I find him to be a loudmouth. But anyway, Teddy Atlas was on talking about how, I think it was a Dillian White situation with Wilder, and Wilder had said that for Dillian White to fight him, he has to come sign with the PBC and all this. Teddy Atlas said, this cannot be right. Like, this can't be legal. You can't tell somebody that they have to sign with your promotional team to fight you. That's not how this works. And
exactly.
It's like, Terrence Crawford is out there. Why does it matter who he's signed to? You should be with your favorite fighter that you're not fighting this man.
Right. That's why
Why
I
is it
don't
your
deal with
business?
that sucker shit. Yeah, they be on that sucker shit. I don't like how you just gonna try to tell somebody who they should be uh signed to or whatever. Like they gotta kiss your ass.
I agree with that. But I don't
That's
like
why
the
I don't
idea.
fuck. That's why I don't fuck with Wilder because he be on some sucker shit.
Well, right now, Wilder is someplace getting high or some shit. I don't know. This dude, I don't know. Fight Doctor told me. I didn't even know. Fight Doctor here told me that Wilder broke his hand against Tyson Fury in the third fight. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, he always breaking his hands. Yeah, because he hit.
Again.
He doesn't fight. He doesn't hit with the right technique, and he hit hard. So
He hit hard, but it's like he was telling me he was using these horsehair gloves that don't really protect your hand as much.
yeah,
And just because he see Tyson Fury using those gloves. But Tyson Fury needs those gloves. He ain't no real puncher. You're a puncher. Wilder can knock somebody out with goddamn pillows on his hand. It don't matter. Why are you
yeah,
wearing
yeah.
gloves that you know don't offer the same protection? I had no idea he broke his hand. His fight
No,
doctor
I
had.
didn't know that.
I'm like, you got to be a dummy. Who is your coach? Your coach is supposed to say, hey man, don't wear them gloves. What's wrong with you?
That's why Mayweather was wearing Grant gloves because they're like therapeutic.
Right. You
So
know
that's
your
what the
situation.
type of gloves he would have to have. Probably especially, because his hands are big, probably because he's a heavyweight, got long, but yeah, he could definitely, you know.
Mayweather and Smellerby treat Tank like an employee. I was under the impression the promoters work for the fighter. They tell Tank who and when to fight. You damn right. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, man, the Peruvian weed. Laron says, I don't think Tank knows what to do. I think he stays with TMT. It just seems to. I don't know if Tank Davis really understands what's happening. I remember when he was offered that money to fight Tevin Farmer in a unification,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on video saying he wasn't even shown the offer. They didn't even show him the offer. And it's like, if you have a fiduciary duty to your client, you at the very least need to show this man this offer so he can be aware what's available. And if he is going to turn it down, well, what are you going to give me in return? And he never fought
Mm-hmm.
Tevin Farmer. He would have made a career high payday to fight on the zone, knock out Tevin Farmer, go back over the PBC with the two belts.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
they didn't even show the guy the offer. Tank said they didn't show him the offer.
Mm.
That should set off red flags in Tank's head, like, nah, this is not good. This is
No.
not good.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not. Because they not trying to, what they doing is they're not trying to make another promotional company uh buzz, but at
Hey,
the
hang on,
same
hang on.
time,
I'm on a phone call. I'm on a phone call. Go ahead, talk. Go ahead.
but what's happening is that boxing is we're not getting the best fights because of it. Like nobody cares. There was people from several uh networks in the past that fought each other because the best was fighting the best. Like nobody cares about all of that. Like he can go over there and get his money, or the other one could go over there and get his. And it's what's best for boxing. It's a good fight. And because everybody knew Tank was gonna probably win that fight. What's his name is a good boxer, but he just don't pack a lot of power. Um, I'm trying to think. Tevin Farmer, yeah, he just don't pack a lot of power. So, but he is a good slick boxer. But yeah, that would have been. That's like money taken out of your pocket. These dudes be. Why you think these old timers coming back? You know, they be leaving too much food on the table. You leaving all that food on the table, other people gonna come and be like, "Let me get that. Let me take that steak off your table." You know, leaving money on the table. Who do that? Who do that? And it is the responsibility of the promoters to be in the best interest. if that's your client, your fighter, and you have a fiduciary responsibility to let them know what deals come in, that's not cool, man. It's not cool at all. You know, let him make that decision, and y'all work from there. Because I'm sure the zone or whatever Eddie would work because they want that. They want that traction coming their way. They want to be able to work with other people. You know what I'm saying? But this is just all just a joke, man. That's why I'm not even really feeling boxing like that no more. You know, I mean, I love the sport. Don't get me wrong, but like a lot of all this sucker shit that be going on today, it's just not even cool, man. And a lot of things that I know in boxing, I choose. I don't even want to know all that. Like, I would rather learn from boxing, and I want to learn more about the stylistic breakdowns and stuff. And it's like everything today is just I got one over on you, or you know, dick pulling contests. And I don't got time for that stuff, man. It's just it's just disheartening. Then like I got like a sense of melancholy came over me because I was like, wow, this is what it's going to. This is what it's about now, you know. And these guys are great. We want to see these guys grow into their greatness. I would love to see that. So, when you get older, you be like, wow, I remember that. That was a classic moment. You know what I mean? You want to see that. But now, it's like here and there, you know. And then you got people that are true warriors going out here. You know, it's crazy, man. Look at that guy the other night, Burchell. That was sad watching that, but at the same time, it's like, man, boxing is no joke. You know, you want to see people, you want to see these fighters maximize their profits, make it home to their families safely and get out of the game unscathed, with their faculties as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? And like when you see stuff like that, when you see a young fighter like that has been in wars and look shot to pieces, that was really sad to watch. But congratulations to Nakatilia. It's just like this is not a game. This is not a game at all. Yeah. Champ Ross said you can't recover money that was offered and been declined years later. It bites you in the ass. Yes, I agree. Yes, yes, champ. People are leaving steak and potatoes on the table. No, you can't do that. At least you have to at least consider it. You can't take everything, but at least maximize your profits. Cause this game don't love you.
Sorry, Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. My bad. My bad. Sorry.
That's okay. This
Sorry to
game
leave
don't
you with
love
the
you.
vagabonds.
That's okay. They good. They good. That's family in the chat. This game don't love you. They eat you up and spit the bones out. They don't love you like
Yeah,
that.
Toby. So Toby says, didn't they tell Tank that his own money? Yeah. I'll try and find a video and play it where Tank said, yeah, yeah, it was Michelle Joy. She was like, what about the offer? Tank's like, yeah, they didn't show me the offer. I guess it couldn't have been that good if they didn't show it to me. I was like, oh my fucking God. Who is,
Yeah. Wow.
they didn't even show you the offer. Nothing.
Wow. Well, Mikey Garcia would say different.
Yeah, yeah.
He got
Mikey
that
was
seven. He got them 7 bands fighting.
Jesse Vargas.
Yes.
The man did a smash and grab deal, got his $7 million, and oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Champras fighters leaving money on the table when they have a short window in a career. Exactly. You can't recover money that was offered and being declined years later. It bites you in the ass. Definitely, Champras.
Yeah.
I'm
Champ. I
I'm just not
agree.
understanding, right? I'm just not understanding. These people like Tank and them, Tank has to make a decision right now. Like, like right now. If his contract is really, really up, and after this fight, he's a free man, Gervonta Davis has to make. He made some comment. Someone said nobody's watching the Rolly fight because they're going to be watching the undisputed fight with Devin and Kambosos. Tank said, yeah, and they're both going to be paid less than me combined, and they're going to be paying out more because of the belts. So Floyd has basically told Tank Davis that don't go for no championship belts because, you know, you'll have to pay sanctioning fees and all this. I guess if you're a unified champ, and that's going to be coming out of your money. So that's what he's fighting on, that he don't want to pay the sanctioning fees for the belts, right? But if you don't involve yourself in these fights that involve unifications and all of this, you're not going to maximize your earning power. Because how long until people stop paying for Rolly and stop paying for Isaac Cruz and these people? How long? You know?
Yeah, but how Floyd saying that? I'm not saying Floyd never became undisputed, but Floyd had belts. Floyd got a lot of belts. Remember that.
Champ Ross said, I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd has Tank in a Don King contract. Good luck trying to get out of that without sitting on the side. It's a goddamn shame, but he has to make a decision right now for his career. He's heading into 30 years old. And this is the stage where you start to this is a stage where you're supposed to start peaking in your career. You start peaking in your earning. You start peaking in your performance. You start peaking in everything. 30, maybe 20, like 27 to about 32, you start peaking.
Yeah, prime, yeah.
You know, those are the years when you've now grown into all your strength. You know, you kind of know what kind of fighter you're going to be. You know, you've pretty much won belts. You've earned a lot of money. These are the ages because people usually don't want to box past 34, 35. Usually by that time, people start saying, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. So he has to make a decision now. I think he's 27 years old. So he's heading into that position where his next contract is going to take him into his 30s. Right? So I don't know what he's going to do, but he has to do it right now. Like, this got to be the plan. Like, people have to present to you a 3-fight deal or some shit that's going to take you to the upper stratosphere. And I wish Tank the best, but as Fight Doctor said, I would advise him to leave Floyd Mayweather. Do something with your career because they don't have no plans for you, bro. They don't have no plans for you. Don't listen to these people on social media talking about, oh, you leaving Al, you leaving Al. You can still work with Al. Danny Jacobs work with Al still. Work with Al if you want. But you have to do something for you now because your team don't have no plan for you. That's my opinion on Tank Davis. That's my opinion.
Yeah, why people were, giving advice. How you gonna give advice about something you have no experience in? You know what I'm saying? Telling people you leaving. You know, Al, if he wants Al to be his advisor, then that's fine. You know?
On to these people, Al Heyman is some kind of fairy godfather, fairy black power godfather, and all this shit. And if you're not with Al as a black man, then you're a coon and you're lesser than and all this dumb shit. These people are friggin' idiots.
These people stupid. Stupid.
Toby Bartlett says in years to come, people aren't going to look up who won the most money. They're going to look up who the champions and undisputed champions were. Crazy not to want the belts. Hey, man, that's how it is. But I mean, Floyd Mayweather said you can't eat legacy. Floyd said
it's funny for him to say that because he already have his legacy.
Exactly. He has his legacy. He has money. Well, some of it because he said Al Heyman didn't pay him all his money in. So
yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, but as far as legacy on paper, He has it all.
Yeah, he has all that, but Tank shouldn't look for none of that. But
Right.
whatever. That's just me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know,
That's not good advice. Like, I mean, if you're a fighter, you know what you signed for. You are a professional fighter. You signed up for pain, and you got to
what's
go
crazy,
through hell to become the top dog.
man, look. Anyway, Lisa Bales, I don't have nothing else to talk about today. Um,
Hmm.
anything you want to close out with?
Now, I was just gonna say, like, thank you so much for having me over. Always an honor and a privilege. And just come on, people. We just wanna, these networks and platforms. We just wanna see the best fight the best. That's all we asking. We willing to pay for it. I don't mind paying for uh, fights that are competitive. But who wants to pay for uh some of them fights that they putting on pay-per-view that we know are not really pay-per-view fights? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on. So are you saying you're not gonna pay for Ruiz versus Ortiz pay-per-view?
No.
Hey yo, when Andy Ruiz said, "Oh, I'm gonna fight Luis Ortiz on a pay-per-view," I was like, "Oh, Andy, that ain't no pay-per-view fight, buddy. That ain't no
No.
pay-per-view fight, buddy. Sorry, man. That's either a free fight or a subscription fight. That ain't no pay-per-view fight, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not a yeah.
You
But
beat Anthony Joshua.
he's accustomed to making a certain amount of money, so
Who?
that's why they doing. I guess Andy Ruiz now.
Nah, and no, he got that money from Anthony Joshua. He needs to realize beating Anthony Joshua don't make you Anthony Joshua, sir. You know what I'm saying? You beat him, you got them big paydays. That don't mean that's who you are. Caleb Plant is not gonna be making no $10 million
Right.
again.
Yeah.
You understand?
No, I get what you're saying, yeah, but he still is accustomed to making now he done gotten that over 1 million. He looking for that now.
Yeah, okay. Well, y'all go ahead and buy that. Well, they could go ahead and buy that Louise Ortiz fight. I'm not gonna be supporting
I
no
ain't buying that
shit.
stuff because I know it may be a good fight. Luis
It, it,
Ortiz is a
it,
real good fighter.
it might be a good fight, but that's not a
Yeah.
fight that you need to ask the fans to help you pay for. A pay-per-view is supposed to be a fight that is so abnormal that you have to ask the fans, say, look here, in the only way I can get this fight happening is if y'all assist us in paying these fighters.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a fight abnormally big, or a fighter that has a profile so big that you can't afford them unless the fans assist you to pay. Neither Andy
Mm-hmm.
Ruiz or Luis Ortiz is that fighter.
Right. Like we know Bud and Spence is definitely pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely
The
pay-per-view.
fans want it.
If that fight's on pay-per-view, I'll
Right.
find a way to pay for it. I'll find a
Right.
way to pay
Oh,
for it. I'm
me
watching
too.
that, I'm paying for it. And I
Me
don't find
too.
it, but I'm gonna pay for that.
That's one we want, yeah. And then it's a guaranteed, well, some people say 50-50. It was, now I'm saying 60-40
To who? To who?
in favor of Bud.
Woo-hoo. Lisa Bales.
I'm just being realistic. Bud, have you seen Bud? Bud done grew into welterweight now.
Yeah, they should have
He's a
caught him when he was just
he
coming up.
filled out now. He's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Champ Ross says PBC scrounging up another heavyweight pay-per-view card. Who else is on the card? Frank Sanchez versus Kawanachi. Yeah. Good for them though. I'm not going to chip in on that shit, bro. That's it for me, Lisa Bales.
All right, fam.
You'll be easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you take it easy, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
man.
an honor and a privilege to be with my brother, and chopping it up with you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Toby Bartlett says Andrew Ruiz is with the wrong promoter to earn big money, in my opinion. That's right, but he says he's a pay-per-view fighter now. So go ahead, try your luck. Go ahead, bro. You go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Andy Ruiz is funny. I kind of like him though. He funny.
I like Andy. Andy's a fat guy like me, and I respect other fat people.
But that
Let me
dude
just,
got some paws though.
he can fight.
Yeah,
Let me
he
just
can.
close out. I want to thank everybody for coming through, listening to me for a little bit. Shout out to Devin Haney. Hope you win that fight with Kambosos. I'm sorry you had to sign that awful contract with Bob Arum and Lou DiBella. But that's the state that boxing is in right now, where people can conspire to pigeonhole you into a fight and to fight for people that you don't even like.
Mm-hmm.
You never start to fight for Top Rank. You never start to fight for Lou DiBella. But no, because of one guy, George Kambosos, you're being forced to sign with these two people who you don't know. And you never try to sign with. But whatever. That's how it goes. I want y'all to be easy. Have a nice day. Keep taking care of yourself. Drink your water. It's coming on to the summer. It's going to get warm. And I want everybody to just take care of our families, man. I'm going through a rough time with my family. You know, everybody knows my situation with my wife. You know, she's not doing the best. But
wow, no, I didn't know.
Oh yeah. My wife has a battle with cancer right now. So
wow.
It's not a easy time for me. So, but that's how it goes.
Wow.
That's how it goes, Lisa. But
my prayers are up for your wife.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And your family. Yeah.
So just take care of yourself, man. And if you're upcoming boxer, don't let nobody get no goddamn offers and not show you the offers. All right. Y'all be easy. Have a nice day. Peace.
All right. Peace, my brother.